cybersecurity. And if you want to connect me, then this is my LinkedIn ID and this is my YouTube channel. Let me just show you in quick. This is my YouTube channel. I share about cybersecurity things here. You can also join live me on Sunday. I try to be live on Sunday on each Sunday. I have started it recently. Yeah, so just let me present again. So this is about me. So the main agenda of this session, we will be discussing about the importance of VAPT in cybersecurity. What is vulnerability assessment? What is penetration testing? And what are the differences between these both? Then we will be also understanding what exactly is CVEs and sorry, and some real world case studies that like this CV was discovered and this was exploited by this groups. We will be discussing about that as well. Then we will be going into reconnaissance and the scanning part, and I will try to demonstrate it live as much as possible. Then we will go to exploitation part. We will be discussing in detail what are phases of exploitation, what tools we can utilize, what are utilities that can help us in exploitation phase. Then there is a very famous platform. I think many of you have heard about it. That is TryHackMe. Then we will also explore that how it can help you in the your learning phase. Then I will tell you some common VAPT tools that we should use in our activities, in our VAPT activities. Then we will go for Q&A session. That is most important part. And I will try to make the session interactive if you can help me to make the session interactive. Wherever you get any issue, then you can directly chat. You can directly drop your queries in the chat. Sam, I think chat is available for everyone.
No, no, no. Right now, not. But at the end of meeting, we will open the chat.
Okay, okay.
15
Then
minutes.
what I will recommend everyone that keep your notebook with you, and wherever you get query, then we will tackle it at the end of the session. Okay, let's start. So VAPT stands for vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. These both are different things: vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. So in the VAPT activities, there are a lot of job roles for VAPT as well. You might have heard about VAPT analyst, VAPT, sorry, senior VAPT analyst, like that. The hierarchy depend on the organization only. So VAPT, what activities are done in VAPT? I will explain in the VAPT life cycle in next slide only. So basically, what we do, we identify the vulnerabilities before any attackers or any threat actors do, and we report to the relevant guys. If we are working in the company on itself, then we will report to our developer team or any relevant team. And if we are working any service-based company, which are who are dealing with the client, then we will report to them, the relevant guys only. So there are many different things like compliance and regulations are also being regulated in the VAPT activities. Some real world examples, if I can give, that caused loss to the company, that was a company named Equifax. This is a big company, and a simple vulnerability led to exposure of more than 147 million people. That is why VAPT is very necessary for any organization. If it is small, then it do matters. If it is big, it matters a lot. And there was a very famous ransomware attack. Sorry, just give me 1 second. Yeah. So there was a very famous ransomware attack which was being exploited in Windows system. You might have heard about Eternal Brew vulnerability that was being utilized by some APT groups, some hacking groups. The attack name was named by WannaCry ransomware attack. So it was being happened in 2017, and a lot of financial loss has been analyzed after these attacks. So that is why VAPT matters. So what exactly difference between VA and PT? So VA stands for vulnerability assessment. Objective in, I think, am I audible to I'm audible to everyone. Sam, can you please let me know?
Yeah, yeah. You are able.
Okay, okay, and I am also clear. Okay, so let me start. So VA stands for vulnerability assessment, and in what we can say, the objective of vulnerability assessment is just to identify and classify vulnerabilities. What do I mean by identifying and classifying the vulnerabilities? Here we are not exploiting any vulnerability. We are just analyzing if the vulnerability exists, like we are getting any version of, let's say, any component, any software, we are getting the version. We will just check if it is vulnerable or not. That's it in vulnerability assessment. We are not exploiting it. So in vulnerability assessment, we are just identifying it. We are classifying it to why classifying? We are classifying to go ahead to send the reports, or we can say, or the send whatever findings to relevant team, to higher in the hierarchy, to the penetration testing team. If it is required, we will be sending to penetration testing team so that they can try to exploit it, that they can try to um, uh, simulate it, and then again they will send to the team who will be fixing the vulnerabilities. So that is vulnerability assessment. And in penetration testing, we need to exploit the vulnerabilities. Whatever vulnerabilities we have received from the vulnerability assessment team or in the vulnerability assessment phase, we will be exploiting it using different tools or different utilities, whatever is required, we will be exploiting it, and then we will be creating a report or assessment report to send to the relevant guys. To relevant, what I mean, the hierarchies, like vulnerability, there must be some different vulnerability assessment team or tool, something like you must have heard about Nessus and Aquantix. They are vulnerability assessment tools or softwares. So to a relevant guide, I mean, from different hierarchies, there is a vulnerability assessment team. They will identify and classify vulnerability. Then they will send to penetration testing team. The penetration testing team will exploit the vulnerability, and if it is exploited, then they will send to the client or the team who will be responsible to fix the vulnerabilities. So that was about VA and PT. Okay. Then this is VAPT life cycle, the phases of VAPT, we can say. So in the phase of VAPT, I will like to tell you something. I will like to add something here before I jump into phases of VAPT. You must, all of you must have heard about bug bounty. So I will like to add that bug bounty differs very much with VAPT. Sorry, bug bounty differs too much with VAPT, because VAPT is just like, you can say, corporate things. Here, all things are being done in a proper manner. In bug bounty, it is like freelancing, open source researchers contribute into any platform, any program, they report it. So VAPT is like corporate thing. Here, everything is first planned. A scope is being decided by the by client or by internal teams. They are planned and a scope is being decided. Then the technical or the technology team, like us, the VAPT experts, start with reconnaissance. They find their attack surface, whole attack surface, whatever is in the scope. Then they will assess the vulnerabilities, they will categorize the vulnerabilities, they will use tools like Nessus, Aquantix, Nuclei, Nicto, such tools. They will just discover vulnerable things. They will not exploit it as of now. Let's suppose they have found some JavaScript version, they have found some any software version, any router version. They will just look if it is vulnerable or not. Then they will go for, then all the things will go for exploitation phase. In this phase, what will be done, they will try to exploit it. They will use some you must have heard about exploit DB. It is a database of mini exploit. They will use metasploit, they will use such exploit, such kind of thing. They will look if this version is vulnerable or not, then they will try to exploit it. Not only versions, they will also look different kind of functionality, just like if they get file upload functionality, then they will try to upload some malicious file, they will try to trigger it, they will try to get shell, they will try to execute ssrf, they will try to execute commands, so on, so on, so on, and a lot of different things. So depending on the functionality, depending on the technology, they will try to exploit it. Then if whatever findings they have collected so far, then they will be creating and collating the report. and the report will be being sent to the team who will be responsible for mitigation part, uh, and it is obvious reason they will mitigate it, and then this cycle will be again and again coming again and again. Then the retesting will be done, then again VAPT, something like that. Sorry, I have done a small mistake. From 7 then it goes to 2 again. Because reconnaissance should be done again and again, because they might have done any new they might have released some new their assets, so reconnaissance will be done again and again. That's it about the phases. I hope you all understand. If you don't understand, if there is any issue, then just note it down. We will discuss it at the end of the session. Just give me 1 second, let me drink water.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yes. So what exactly is CV? In the beginning of the session, I have used the word CVE. So CV is basically, CV stands for common vulnerability and exposures. So whatever software or whatever technology, if there any vulnerability exists, if any attacker or any security professionals earlier have found any vulnerability, or if you as well, if you find any vulnerability, then there is a process. You will go for the process, and you will be, if the vulnerability exists, then you will be allocated, or earlier any professionals will be allocated with a particular CV ID, something like this. CV-2070-2017. It stands for the year only. If you are reporting in 2025, then it should be 2025. Then this is the CV unique identifier, you can say, something like this. So here I will like to add, for your resume and for your resume or for your profile, you should also test for different technology or different softwares. If you are assigned with CV, then it will give you your resume, it will beautify your resume, then you can test. You should at least have one CV. If it is if it is for a priority one, then nothing like it. Like I have one CV, I'm also holding one CV that was for command injection. I think I got any chat. Oh, sorry. I was also assigned by CV. It was for command injection. There is a big company. I would not like to name it. There is a big company, and there was a product of them that was a product, like you can say email client, the web email client. You can say a web email client. So I found a command injection on the login panel only. So I was able to inject command on the server. I was able to get RC as well. RC to mean reversal as well. So I was assigned with some CV. So discovery CV is similar like vulnerabilities. After all, CV is also a vulnerability. It is also a vulnerability. So if you discover any vulnerability in any product or any software which is being used by large audience, not large, and any small audience as well, so you will be you should report it, and if they agree with that, then you will be assigning with a CV. So why CV matters in VAPT phase? There is a long database for CV. There is some organizations who are holding database like exploit So if you are getting any technology and its version, you can look in that data in that database. I will be also demonstrating it live. How can you look for that? You should look that version and that technology name in that database. If it is vulnerable with some kind of vulnerability, then you can try that exploit to exploit your asset, your target asset. So you might you should go and research for different CV. It will also give you a lot of learnings. You can use docs like CV colon and in double quote you can use github.com, or site operator you can use github.com. We will be getting a lot of exploits. Also you can explore exploit DB to read about different CVs, and there are also many other platforms that you should go for. There was a famous vulnerability in 2017. Um, in the beginning of session, I mentioned that there was a WannaCry ransomware group. They were exploiting some SMB vulnerabilities. So that you should go and read about eternal vulnerability. That is also a good one. You should read about it. Similarly, there was a Apache struts vulnerability in 2017, Curvewell. Then there are a lot of, there is, as I mentioned, there is a database. There are many people who are maintaining that database. Then you should go and read about that vulnerability. If you in future you are getting some particular version, then you can check and you can try to exploit that using that particular exploit if that is public. Okay, so now the most important in the most initial phase, that is reconnaissance. So reconnaissance is basically of two types. First is passive recon. In passive recon, what we do, we try to gather as much as information without directly interacting with the target. As of now, we are not interacting with, in this phase, we are not interacting with target. Even we are not opening their website. We are doing nothing. We are not pinging. We are not creating any request to our target. We are just gathering information from third party assets. For example, if their presence is on GitHub, then we will try to grab their GitHub account, GitHub profile, and we will be doing dorkings and looking for some API keys or such stuff using Google Dorking. Okay. Okay, Sam, I think everyone will be understanding in English, so we should continue because in the beginning of the session, I have seen that many people were requesting for English. So I think everyone will be understanding in English, so we should go for English only because the agenda of session is in English. I have seen your WhatsApp message. Okay, so sorry. Hmm. So in passive recon, we are just gathering information without directly interacting with the target. For example, I have mentioned whiz. There is a whiz database that you can look for the specific asset of your target. You can do DNS lookups. You can do Google dorking. Uh, in Google dorking, you should go. You should don't miss anything in Google dorking. Invest your as much as time you can invest in Google dorking because you will be getting a lot of things from Google dorking. Not only that, not directly vulnerability, you will be also getting vulnerability, but many else information you will be getting that may help you in further exploitation part or vulnerability assessment part. So you should not miss Google dorking part. Then GitHub dorking is also in the part of passive recon. I should demonstrate something live. For Google dorking, you can utilize there is a very big tool, a very good tool actually, Big Bounty Recon. You can download it in Windows. I can't show you live because I am using GNU/Linux system, but the UI is something like this. Yeah, UI is something like this. What you are supposed to do, first you should download this from download the executable file from this, and you can when you will be opening this, then the UI is like in front of you. So when you once you enter the target domain here, then whenever you are click on any tabs or any these options, you will be directed to the browser, the whatever default browser you are using. Let's suppose you are clicking on directory listing, then it will make dark like this, site colon whatever site, whatever your target site is, and sorry, just let me do site, for example ubuntu.com, and index of what does index of mean, let me explain you briefly. Why I have used ubuntu.com, because I will be getting result for this because Ubuntu has by default made some direct listing that is not a vulnerability, they have made intentionally. So I should explain using this. So basically, whatever pages are being indexed or directly are being indexed or exposed, so that by default name is index of and the directory name itself. So in this way, you will be able to see the directory structure. Here they have done it intentionally. Here any, you can say, any sensitive things are not being disclosed, but at many sites you will be getting sensitive directory are being disclosed. For example, if I just use Google hacking database for the reference, Google hacking database. This is you can say exploit DB. There is a very good. utility, or you can say platform exploitative. They are maintaining Google hacking database where many hackers try make their Google Docs and post it here. So if I try to search for index of, yeah, so here is we are getting a small dot or dark like this. These dark will expose you some sensitive files. For example, if I use this doc, I will not open any website, but they will expose SSH configurations, even their SSH config file, their private key, something like this. You can assume, you can understand the gravity, how much sensitive these things are. You are just getting their SSH private keys. You can directly log in. Attackers can direct you not. I will not. I will just give a small disclaimer. You should not go for this unethically. So attacker will directly log into their SSH server and they can exploit and they can try to simulate their red teaming and further things. They can be in their network as well. So such Google Dorking is holding such kind of gravity, so you should not miss it. And you can use platforms like Google Hacking Database for everything. You can say everything you will be getting docked because a big community is doing such things. For example, sensitive directories. They are also maintaining categories, file containing juicy information, something like this. You can explore this platform, and to just add a small thing, if you are getting any doc and you want to apply for your target platform, you can just add site colon whatever target site you are testing on. Just give me 1 second. Okay, fine. So I will drop this here only. Whatever resource I want to drop, I will drop here only. Either someone Sam, I will recommend collect all these resources from chat, whatever resource I am dropping, and after
Yeah,
the
yeah, I am
end of,
collecting.
yeah, after the end of the session you can drop in the group. Okay. So similarly, you will be you are getting a configuration file tab. If you click on this, they will create a doc like whatever extension is ending with .back, .conf, something like this. Mm, the extension for configuration files. So it will create doc like this. If and assume if you are getting configuration file, internal configuration file, for example, for mail server, for SSH, for anything, then how much sensitive it is. So just by using this utility, you will be entering your target domain. It will create a doc. For example, there is a doc for SQL errors. It will generate a doc. Whatever SQL error is being generated on your target site, you will be that will be getting indexed. You will be getting on your Google itself. Just let me clear you. Whatever things are being indexed on Google, only that thing you will be getting from this tool. This is a part of Google Dorking only. So there are many different different tabs for CVs, some CVs as well, for their buckets as well. If some cloud buckets or some S3 buckets are being exposed, then you will be getting it from here only. Sorry. So I should drop this tool URL as well in the meeting. Yeah. Hmm. Let's test. Let's continue with our PPT. Yeah, so I should also demonstrate GitHub Dorking part live. I think you can go for YouTube or something for these small topics like quiz or DNS lookup, or you must have done it. I'm sure about it because these are very basic utilities that is available by default in Linux as well. So I will demonstrate GitHub Dorking part little bit. So, what GitHub is, I'm sure you must have heard about GitHub. GitHub is a very big platform and it is operating from so long, I think from 2012. So, there are many companies who are available who are using GitHub in their CI/CD, or you can say their code integration part. And many of their internal team collabs and they create their platform. If it is supposed to be public, then you will be getting on their GitHub profile. So I have briefly mentioned that GitHub is used for coding. Whatever code bases are they are supposed to make for public, then they will be uploading on their GitHub profile. They will be doing on their GitHub profile. Okay. So what we can utilize in our VAPT or our pen testing process, we can look for their, we can first look for their GitHub profile. For example, I will be using a software because I have worked on this platform. So software is a very good, very big target, very big organization based out of Germany. So they have done 72 repositories public. That means on different 72 repositories they have done coding or something like this. Here you can see their coding language. In this repository they have used JavaScript and different depending on the repos and different depending on the technologies. So how we can utilize this? By default, sorry, I used wrong word. So many developers by mistake leave some sensitive information in the repo as well. As they are humans only, they might lead they might miss some sensitive like API key, password, or many sensitive information that can be utilized by a hacker, by an attacker. So they might leave that part. So what we can do, we can use docs to look for that information that we can utilize in our that directly can be exploited, either that can be used in our pen testing phase. For example, if we are, I will give you two or three examples. If we are getting API key or password, we can directly use it for exploitation. For example, you are getting API key for some payment gateway or some internally payment things or some any software, then we can directly exploit it using relevant code base or relevant platforms. Or if you are not directly getting such kind of information like env or password or API key, you can also look for their functionality. For example, if you are testing any site and you got a login page, then what you can do, you can look for their GitHub repo and you can look for the login module if it is public. Then you can also try to get hint from that thing, that what else vulnerability, because as of now you directly have a login page, but if you explore their GitHub page, then you might get some like how they are generating OTP, how exactly login page is working, what kind of technology is being used in the backend. So that is how GitHub will help you. So, not going detail in the GitHub Dorking part. In GitHub part, we should just have a look with a small docs. I will just use any image for a GitHub Dorking creativity asset cheat sheet. Mm, yeah. So you can refer for any checklist. There are a lot of checklists being available on Google or Medium or LinkedIn like platform. For example, there is a checklist which is being created by some guy. I will utilize it for your reference, for my reference. You can use docs like this: file name colon manifest.xml. Manifest.xml is a configuration file. So you will be getting a lot of, for example, Firebase URL if it is exposed. So you can get such kind of things with these docs. File PASSWD. PASSWD file is in Linux for storing usernames and their relevant information. Similarly, config.php and these things. So you should use file docs as well as keyword docs. For example, if API key in double quote, authorization barrier, authentication, some docs like these. So if you are getting the information directly, then nothing like it. But if you are not, then you should dig and look for more information. Sorry, I will just take 1 second. Yeah, but the organization, the big organization, if you are targeting a big organization, if your target is big organization, to target means to target, I mean it totally ethically. For example, this is software. They are holding 72 different repositories. This is too big. Even many organizations are holding more than 1,000, 10,000 repositories. So you can also utilize some automation tools. There are a lot of automation tools that can help you. For example, there is a truffle hog, there is a tool like GitHub Docs, GitDoc. You can use this. Truffle hog is the one of the best tool that you can utilize. It might take your GitHub API key, then you can go for it. So I hope I am clear with GitHub Dorking and Google Dorking as well, and I have tried to demonstrate it live as much as I can, because I can't go more than this for this part. Okay. Then second part is active recon. In active recon, what we do, we directly engage with our target. We go to their website. We check for their contact us page. We can check for their footers, for broken links or something like this. So we are directly interacting. We are directly pinging. We are directly interacting with their with their asset. We look for their assets, their digital assets. For example, their IP ranges or subnet range they are holding. They're all subdomains. They're all main domains. These all are the part of activity con. So there are two type of recons. If I can demonstrate it briefly, there are two type of recon. First is passive recon. In this part we are not directly interacting with the target. Second is active recon. In this part we are directly interacting with the target to discover weakness, or we can say to discover the assets for our further engagements part. Yeah. Next part is scanning, target scanning. I will not take too much time for theory. I will just um, go for a tool named nuclei. I will not demonstrate it live. I will be explaining nuclei tool for scanning. Nuclei is not the only tool for a scanning purpose, but yeah, nuclei is one of the good tool for web vulnerability scanning for API part as well. So what exactly scanning mean? In scanning part, we try to scan our target. We try to use tools like Nmap, nuclei to scan our target. Uh, there is small mistake. Nuclei is not only part of scanning; it is a part of scanning and enumeration. So I think I should edit it here only, scanning and enumeration, to make it more perfect. Yeah. So in a scanning part, we scans our target. We look what all ports are open in our target. For example, we use Nmap to look for ports. In enumeration part, enumeration spelling is mistake. Yeah. In enumeration part, we look for the vulnerabilities. That is what we have explained. I have explained in VA process as well. We look for vulnerabilities. What all versions are vulnerable to send it to next phase for exploitation phase. In enumeration part, we run tools like nuclei, Nikto. Yes, and nuclei is the one of the best tool because it will give you. You can use a lot of templates which is being created by default as well, and you can look for different Google pages. A lot of hackers create templates for different purpose. Nuclei is, I think, installed by default in Linux. Let me just check if I can show you something. Sorry, nuclei. Yeah. So if you can see nuclei help section, you just have to use nuclei hyphen u and your target site name, and it will start a scanning. If you have list of different domains and subdomains, you can just create a list using your text editor, and you can use command like this: cat subs.txt or whatever file name is subs.txt, then pipe and then nuclei. Okay. And if you use nuclei hyphen u just directly with your target, then it will use by default some templates. But if you want to use some other templates, then you can use flags like tmplat. Yes, yes. You can flag like these. No, no, this is to update templates. Yes, hyphen. Sorry. Uh, no. Mm, mm, mm. Yes, extension like this. There are arguments in nuclei. You can go and research for it. I am not using nuclei from a long time. You can utilize nuclei templates, and there are a lot of guys who are creating their templates, and I think there is a by default directory for templates as well. If I can look, just let me grab it. Just let me go to cd.local local share. No, just let me Google it. Nuclear templates directory. Mm, dot config nuclear, not this. Okay, I will drop that part in the group because I am not getting currently. I will drop that part, that directory in the group. But there are by default templates being installed while you are installing nuclei, and there are a lot of templates which are being created by different users. So according to a requirement, you can also create your, you can say um, nuclei templates, or nuclei utilize others nuclei template that will help you a lot in your in your enumeration and vulnerability assessment phase. And it is a lightweight as well, so you can scan it for a wide range of your targets. Yes. In exploitation part, I hope I am done with target scanning and enumeration, and I have utilized just a one tool named nuclei for your reference. And there are a lot of different tools as well. Even Metasploit have also many auxiliaries for this purpose, for a scanning and enumeration purpose. So you can also look for this. And nmap is the one of the best tool for port scanning, that is also part of a scanning and enumeration phase. Also, nmap has a scripting engine, which is a nmap scripting engine. uh, so you can also go for that templates, or you can say many scripts which is installed by default. Okay, so in exploitation part, our goal is to leverage the identified vulnerabilities in the enumeration or vulnerability assessment stage to gain access or exploit any vulnerability, any particular vulnerability that we have got input from last phase. In this, you can see in the image itself, we have any attacker has created listener on their system, and they might have exploited on some kind of, you can say, file upload functionality, either any vulnerability, and they have got a connection. And after that, he is able to execute commands like who am I, or any command depending on the user and depending on the permissions. So whatever inputs we have got from last page in vulnerability assessment and enumeration, we are trying to exploit in this page, exploitation phase. In this page, we look for functionalities to try to exploit it. Okay. So key utilities, you can say, in there are many different utilities, but Metasploit framework is one of the best tool, the best framework for this purpose. There are a lot, they are maintaining a big database. It is open source only, a big database for different purpose, for auxiliaries, for different scanning modules, for payloads, for exploits. I will just be quick and open my msf console. To open your Metasploit, you need to execute msf console. See, msf sorry. Yeah, it will take just 10 to 20 seconds to start. Hmm. You can see there are exploits, these number of exploits, these number of auxiliaries, these number of posts, these number of payloads, encoders, mops, evasion available in this framework. So you can utilize this, and this is
Mari dulu
you
Mas.
can say
Weh,
very user friendly tool. You can directly
jo
use
ya.
very simple command for your purpose. You can just use commands
जो
like
ya
search and
tuh aku.
whatever
Ya,
technology you are
mental
looking for
sendiri mas
example,
cyber security
search
na naam ki.
vsftpd, search ssh, commands like simple like this with version, for example vsftpd 2.3.4 or something like it is open now. So search, if I search for vsftpd,
Nasi jarak thalian jaji. કેટલી વાર થોડુંક થોડુંક હમણાં પૂરું થયું.
mm, 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 mm. Yeah, so there is a auxiliary available for this version. Auxiliary, what auxiliary mean, it is used for scanning purpose, you can say. It will scan your target and just tell you if it is vulnerable or not. So and similarly exploit, if you want to use any exploit, I am just using this for the demonstration. You will just using use and the exploit or auxiliary or payload, whatever you are using, name, then it will be getting loaded. And to show the options uh, that is needed to be configured for using this, you will be using show options command directly. So here you can see our host, they are asking for our host. In required field you can use for required field for the reference. They are asking for our host. Our host means the target host, whatever target host is. If it is domain, then domain, for example google.com or whatever domain it is. And our port, which is by default 21. But if your target is using some different port for ftp, then you can configure it accordingly. So what it will try to, if the version is similar, if the version is 2.3.4, it will try to gain command injection over there. So just by using this Metasploit and the module and this module, you have to do nothing else. If you have a static, depending on the network part, I will not be explaining that part. If it is on public surface, then you should have a VPS to do so. If it is locally, then you can directly utilize your system if you are the part of the network. So you can just by using the metasploit and the relevant exploit, you are gaining access to the target system if it is vulnerable. So that is how metasploit will be helping you. You can just use commands like search. If I have to look for a specific version for ssh, I will just use search crch ssh, whatever version it is. I have not currently a specific version, then I will just search it like this. So there is something unauthenticated sssrc, some expert for SSH username enumeration, some version corruption. So depending on the version, you can directly search it over here. If there is expert available, then you can utilize this. You can utilize that part. Okay. I hope I am clear with it. Whatever, let me inform again. Whatever queries or dots you are getting during that session, as the host has disabled mic and comments for some reason, you can use your notebook to note that, and then we will discuss at the end of the session. Second, what I have added in the slide, there is a very big platform. I have shown you for Google Dorking as well, but they are also maintaining database for exploits. Many, sorry, yeah, so they are maintaining database for exploit and CVEs. So if you have any version, so you can also go for looking if any exposed cv or exposed vulnerability is being registered or not. So then you can look for the exploit and try to exploit it. Then search exploit is one of the command line utility. They are also using exploit db only. So I will just try to demonstrate exploit, search exploit like this. If it is not installed in my system, I think. No, it is installed. So search exploit is very simple. If you will be executing search exploit, and I think directly vsftpd, just let me check with this. Yeah, so it will also look for vulnerabilities or exploits from exploit db database only. So here they are giving you some exploit code. It is in Perl. You can use your search exploit different flag to download it. Then you can try to exploit it using CCM tool. Okay, I thought someone is telling me. So you can use search exploit as well. So these both are very simple. Metasploit is too simple to use. Exploitive is too simple to use. Then there is a very good utility. Rev cells. You can also use this. Rev cells is basically RAV. Yeah. So rev cells will help you a lot if you are looking for a cell code to exploit on your target, either in file upload functionality, either directly for command injection, either directly from some any particular functionality. What they will do, you can directly input your your IP address. For example, if you have VPS or anything, and just for your reference, I will add any IP address 172.54.76.1. So your VPS or your IP address, depending on network architecture and whatever target you are targeting for, and the port on which you are listening, and it will give you the cell code, or you can say the payload. So you can select the platform. If I select all, sorry, cell should be, you can select the cell as well. I am selecting bash currently. So platform, let's suppose Linux. Then you can look for different bind cell or something like this. I think there is some issue with dev cells currently. Just let me reload it. Yeah. Okay, by default I have searched something, that was a mistake. So here you will be entering your IP, the listening port, and from here you can get cell code. You can get cell code for different technology or different utilities. For example, for NC, for Bash, for C language, in C language, in Rust, for different programming language, in different programming language. By default, you not need to code. Yeah, you don't need to code by your hand or by any chat gpt. You don't need to use chat gpt or bypass it using prompt to get the cell code. So you can use this platform. You just need to enter your IP address, your port, and you will be getting the cell code. For example, if my target cell is bash or something like this, then I can get for bash. I will just use it and try to get RC. But before executing it, you should use open the listener on your system, that by directly just copying it and pasting on your terminal. For example, I have open listener on my port 8001, and if I will if I'll execute this command on my target system using any exploit or any API, any command injection technique, then I will be getting cell here only. I will just refer to his image. This in this image, he has open listener on 9001 port, and he has managed to get cell anyhow in this port, and he is able to execute command on his target system. Okay, I think I am done with this slide. I have explained it better. Metasploit framework, exploit DB, and RevSells as well. Yeah. So, yeah. So there is a platform named TryHackMe. This is one of the biggest platform. There are a lot of CTF to you can practice for. I will just try to open TryHackMe. TryHackMe. Yeah. Hmm. You should register if you are a beginner, either intermediate or advanced as well. There are a lot of challenge over there for different level of your expertise. You can register here, and you can look for. Sorry, my system is lagging, I think. Okay. Yeah. So you can go to learn tab and look for challenges for. There are a lot of challenge for network pen testing, web pen testing, red teaming. There are a lot of you can say series for CTFs you can follow. For example, if I can sort by, you can sort by your type, like sorry type. Yeah, if you are looking for CTF related to that teaming, then you can go for this difficulty level. You can set if you are a beginner or very beginner. If you are looking for easy CTF, then let me select easy. Then you will be getting CTF like this. What you need to do is, if you have free plan, then I think I have not used it from a long time. Just let me do it to all. Mm, let me open any one of these. Your open VPN in your system, you will be in the network of that system, CTF, wherever it is posted, and then they will be giving you an assigning you a IP address of your target. Uh, you can say target machine, and then you can test it over there. You have to look for vulnerability, and you can, after getting vulnerability, after exploiting it, after whatever task it is for, you can just try to submit the flag. For example, in this system you are supposed to find user.txt flag. I assume if you get a basic shell for a user, normal user, you will be getting a user.txt file anywhere in the system. Then you need to select the privilege, then you need to look for root.txt file, and uh, there will be flag in user.txt and a root.txt file, and you need to submit over there. Once you are done with it, then this CTF will be completed. So there are a lot of different CTF. You should explore TryHackMe platform. You can register it over there, and you can play a lot of CTF. You can try to also maintain. You can say points over it. It will also enhance your resume and your profile. So I should also drop TryHackMe platform. I know every one of you know about TryHackMe, but there might be any guy who have not explored TryHackMe yet. Yes.